Welcome back to Cooking with Depression. I'm Jackie. This week I've been working on building habits, and I've also been focusing on how to edit these videos. I noticed last week the videos that I've been posting, the sound wasn't exactly what I expected. So I've been watching a lot of tutorials and I've hopefully fixed that. Today I'm making chocolate mole sauce. I like to use this for enchiladas, but you can also use it on meats and tofu, veggies, rice and beans. Because you need to be active during the cooking process, this is a level 3 motivation recipe. I'm not making the spices from scratch, mostly because I don't really know how to do that very well, and also because it's just not necessary. This is cooking with depression. From scratch would be nice, but it's just not necessary all the time. Give yourself a break. Cooking takes a lot of energy that most of us don't have all the time. This is not a show for people who think only fresh food is real food. It's just not realistic, and it leads to cycles of shame that let's just not do that to ourselves. Using shortcuts doesn't make you a bad cook. If you have the energy to cook things from scratch and you know how to, that's awesome, and do that, but sometimes that's just too much, right? So let's take a look at our ingredients and let's make some sauce. Here's what you'll need. I highly recommend dark chocolate that is dairy-free, not just to make this vegan, but because I think it gives it the best flavor for mole sauce. As for the spices, this is a pretty mild sauce. You can add more spices if you want it hotter, but unless you're certain, wait until after the chocolate has been cooked in before adding more. Start by mincing half a white onion. You can use your food processor if you have one, but I just didn't feel like breaking it out for half an onion. I talk up having a food processor a lot, but sometimes it's not worth it if it's just a small amount of something. So make sure you have a good knife for these quick jobs. Next, we're going to chop this chocolate into 1 ounce of small pieces. This is a 2-ounce piece, so I need to weigh it to make sure I have the right amount. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want to put too much chocolate in or that will be all you taste. And while chocolate is freaking delicious, there's other flavors we want to notice here too. So just chop that up until there's no big chunks and it can melt easily. Add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil to the saucepan. On medium heat, add the onions and garlic, stir and cook for about 2 minutes. Now reduce heat to low and add the flour and spices into the saucepan, mixing together. As you can see, I'm not being exact, just close to. Don't focus on perfection here, just think about the flavors you like. Sprinkle in some salt and pepper to taste and cook for about 5 minutes. add the broth. Use your spoon to break up any of the clumps. Increase the heat and boil until reduced, stirring throughout. This should take about 30 minutes. Now add in the chocolate to the saucepan and mix on low heat for about 2 minutes. But don't be like me and leave your spoon in the pan when you pour your chocolate in. The chocolate was still consumed, but not a part of the recipe. Maybe that was pretty subconscious of me. This will finish quickly, so stay close and stir often. Remove from the heat and use once cooled a little, or save for up to a week. I usually use this mole sauce for enchiladas. Next week you'll see how to make these cheese enchiladas with me, so make sure to subscribe and check back every Monday for new videos. It snowed when I made this, so we took Charlotte to go play in the park. And this is my tip for the week. Get active, whatever that means for you. For me, it varies based on how my back is feeling and the energy I have, but I urge you to do what you can. And if you can get outside, even better. Luckily, there was no one at the park, so we were able to take off our masks and run around with the dog a little. I know this isn't for everyone, and I know a lot of people don't enjoy the coldness of winter, but what they say is kind of true. Being active makes you feel better. It's not a cure, and I struggle with being active daily, but it really does help. Depression is a chemical imbalance, and, well, like Elle Woods says,
exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy.
Okay, I love Legally Blonde, and hopefully I won't get in trouble for that clip, but obviously I'm not saying that if you exercise, you won't be depressed anymore. I really want to emphasize that this is not me saying exercise is a cure. It's not. I've had so many doctors tell me my pain would go away if I just lost weight, and that has never actually been true. So while this advice sounds simple and ableist, there's science behind it. I don't know what your physical body is capable of, so I'm not going to say to do anything specific. This is just me sharing my journey. I like to take the dog to the park and walk at an easy pace. I also love doing yoga because it feels good. There's even a type of yoga called Kundalini that focuses on chanting and singing and breathing exercises that will increase your heart rate. To get those feel-good endorphins, you're supposed to do something that increases your heart rate for at least 30 minutes. Again, this sounds a lot easier than it can be. Like I said, I struggle with doing this daily. Some days I'm lucky to get 5 minutes of moderate exercise. In fact, my therapist asked me to track my exercise habits over the past 2 weeks because it's a habit I really want to improve. So here's what my last 2 weeks of being active look like. I got an average of 10 minutes a day of moderate exercise. The more I did in one day, the better I did feel, but this won't be the same for everyone. For the 2 years after my back surgery, most exercise was really painful and left me feeling exhausted. So do what you can, and don't be so hard on yourself when you can't. Again, easier said than done, I know. Well, until next time, thanks for watching Cooking with Depression. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for new videos every week. Bye!